it's not my fault that I'm a Southern gentleman. Period.
Hey, talk to me.
I open doors. I don't feel like women should touch trash.
Okay.
I don't feel like they should wash that. That's what I do.
Okay.
But when I do what I naturally do, me being a human is looked at as like, damn, he wants to marry me.
Yeah.
Anyways, how y'all doing? I missed you, Miles.
I just seen you. Your hat is wild. Tyler, the ever so gracious host. You get a lot of money. They're not gonna lie. The ceiling, what's the ceiling?
I told you, boy, the OnlyFans be coming in
Oh,
handy.
you got an OnlyFans? What's the link?
Moving on. We got legends in the building.
Yes,
we
sir.
got
Yes, sir.
Southern music legends in the building.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna start with my man M.I. Crooked letter. He is the reason why I know how to spell Mississippi. Not gonna lie to you.
Yeah,
Legend in the building. David Banner. And then you know this, he always doing something. He doing something to keep us talking battle. We got Young Jock in the building.
That's how you gonna introduce me.
Because I felt like it would be cheesy to be like, Mr. Going down.
I'm just talking.
I didn't want to do that. Listen, I know you've been asked a billion times, but I ain't never asked you. Well, you did your hair like that. You did that on purpose, or you going for a role?
Of course. I was trolling.
Oh,
I told you, he be tickling the
I was
algorithm.
trolling. I really was trolling. I was going on Hip Hop Squares, and I was like, it's gonna be a new show. It's like all these big names. I was like, I'm gonna be bigger than every big name.
Period.
Oh God, that's what but without doing too much, but I did too much, but it wasn't doing too much.
it wasn't doing
I
too
just
much.
pressed
It hurt
my hat,
nobody.
bro.
Yeah.
Appreciate what you got.
I mean, I loved your Black Hispanic era. You was giving black Mexicans down.
J07.
That's suavemente.
Listen, we here. Y'all know what happened when we get here. We get to talk to each other.
Yeah.
So let's jump right into it. I'm gonna jump right into it. I want to ask my brothers and the new brothers. If y'all get a hall pass, are you taking it?
Oh, Lord.
Cracking off like that.
No.
No.
So
He answered it like this. He answered it like Denzel.
So I'm not married. Let me just get this off real quick so that I can let the people that need to speak to it. I think the thing that I would be worried about most is if I take the hall pass, what comes when I
Do she get a hall pass back?
That should be your biggest concern.
Yeah.
That is my that's my
Dude,
biggest
that's
one.
not me.
Cause why are you offering me the hall pass? What are you setting up?
Why you think she giving you a hall pass?
Because
she
she
know
giving
how
me
you
a
are.
No, she giving me a hall pass because she want a hall pass. Gotta
I don't
be.
think so.
But why?
I feel like that.
But
Thank
why
you,
do
Jock.
hall passes exist?
Good question.
Like, so when y'all be getting married, why don't y'all be satisfied with one women's? Why y'all gotta have several women?
Oh, I was very satisfied with my one. She wasn't satisfied with me.
That's what they don't talk
She
about.
divorced me.
Wait, what?
That's why you outside.
Yeah, I'm outside because she divorced me. I'd still be at home.
Yeah, that's what black men don't get to talk about.
Well, why did she divorce you?
All right, get her on the show. I
I'm gonna keep it 100. Like if my wife came to me and said I'm gonna give you a hall pass, I would graciously decline.
Okay.
I really would. I'd just be like, nah, cause we never been in that space. I've lived in that space, and it could become pretty reckless. I give you an inch, you take a mile.
Right.
The whole concept of that. So when it comes to that, because I know my wife ain't with that for real. The minute she would say that to me, I would be really concerned.
I think as a whole, we've lost who we are. Like the marriage, if it's done the way that they say it's supposed to be done, the bond isn't between you and your wife, it's a spiritual bond.
Yeah.
It's an institution. That's the reason why I'm not married now. I'm getting it all out.
Yeah, man.
So
Yeah,
so,
man.
no, I'm being very honest.
Yeah.
So like
I feel you.
once I get married, it's all out. And for me, I think one of the things that we don't notice is it's always the crack in the family structure that brings down everything in America. Like, so once I decide or I pick that woman, we are army. And to bring anybody else in that, it ain't just a physical thing, it's a spiritual thing.
Right.
I'll say this, I have friends who are rappers, who everybody think they out there bad. My homeboys, they don't cheat on their wife. The real truth is black men are more, statistically, The American government statistics says that the black man is more involved in his children's
That's true.
lives than any other race of people on this
Studied by
family.
When
the
he's
CDC,
president.
Right. So the same thing with marriage. That's why I'm not married yet.
Thank you for saying that.
But once I do get married, I plan on at least attempting to keep that bond if it's made to God and not her.
Thank you for saying that. 'Cause I was gonna say, I mean, I've never been married, but as a black woman, what I see other black women doing is they will use these Hallpasses as a pacifier. You know what? Let me give him a little leeway.
Like
let
a
me
treat.
let me let him do a little something so I can pacify the real issue without getting down to the root of things. You know what I mean? And so it's like, okay, I'll let you go do this, I'll let you go do that. I'll let women come in, let's do foursomes, let's do threesomes. It's like, that does not solve the issue. To me, the issue is he doesn't want to be married.
I would think that when I'm considering who is going to be my wife, it's going to be a woman that I would think would not bring that up as an option or a suggestion in my marriage.
It's almost like a desperation factor, right? Like, and you have to look at why this is so desperate. Like, a woman who just really wants you to just be with her. She doesn't want to lose you, so she's willing to allow you to, or at least give herself the notion that she's okay with you going out dealing with somebody else as long as you come home.
It's a Hail Mary pass.
You see what I'm saying? That's not realistic.
My last ditch effort.
But one thing I hate in relationships is when people agree to something that they really don't like in the first place, or something that they really don't do. If that's not the life that you really want, then don't engage in it.
Bingo.
But there's another side to that, which is I find a lot of times that men, just in general, you all will engage in a certain level of activity at a certain level of consistency that does lead the woman to believe that you are seeking something outside of what your mouth has said.
That's an
you have
assumption,
said,
though, love. That's an
But I was
assumption.
gonna say, hold on, but I was gonna say, actions speak louder than words, right? And I agree with you. If a man tells you he does not want a relationship with you, you should listen to that. However,
So
if
if-
you as a man, you don't want a relationship, why are you engaging in relationship
out.
activity?
Because we don't want we want the benefits of the relationship and not the responsibility of the relationship. But it doesn't change. It doesn't change that he said, I don't want a relationship.
Listen, I'm telling you, let's do this, but I'm really not serious about it. You say, I agree. Okay, we friends. We do what we do. Okay, great. But I make you feel so good, or I make it feel the aesthetics of it, the complexity of it is just so like, that does not mean we warp from what the I just said to what your assumptions are.
Right. Especially the way that
That's
dating
what it
is
is.
now. It's not my fault that I'm a Southern gentleman. Period.
Hey, talk to me.
I open doors. I don't feel like women should touch trash.
Okay.
I don't feel like they should wash that's what I do.
Okay.
But when I do what I naturally do, because the world, can I cuss?
Yeah.
Because the world is so f***ed up, me being a human is looked at as like, damn, he wants to marry me.
Yeah.
Damn.
No, I'm opening the door because that's
what I do.
That's what I
it's
do.
hard for people. Go ahead.
No, keep going, cause I feel you. Cause bro, I could just compliment somebody and be like, hey, you flirting. Nah, I was saying you look nice today.
You're beautiful, and I mean
When
it.
you cross paths with people, it feels good to know that when I leave you, it's a trail of happiness. Like I left you with a smile, and people like, man, he's a good guy. That's it.
I agree with what you're saying. But if you know, Jock, then when you be licking your lips like that in front of me,
But
if you know when you
going.
treat me a certain way consistently, you know that I'm walking away thinking, okay,
How do I know that? though?
because you, come on now.
You sign contracts with white people every day on
sir.
jobs.
Yes, sir.
That you know that's not fair
Yes, sir.
and not right, and you will work for them. And if they smile and be cordial to you,
You know.
when you know that you're not going nowhere in that job, but we'll take that. But what we want from each other is we want each other to assume. If I can only go by assumptions, then I'm all over the place and we'll never move forward.
Well,
But if I tell you this is what it is, we can come back to the table and renegotiate the contract. Well, I don't want to be in this relationship no more at this level. I can't do this no more. If you're going to continue here, then I step out. Then as a man, I have to say, well, either you can go on about your business, okay, let's get into contract renegotiations. But if we want to move forward, especially as a race, we have to agree on something and move forward, or we'll be all over the place.
So
Because I really don't know what nobody's thinking.
So in this scenario, that you're discussing, do we take accountability for our own peace? Because if we play the game where we say, hey, I already told you, and I'm doing all this stuff to make you feel this way, it's only gonna get on our nerves when her emotions begin to change. It's only gonna get our nerves. So do we begin to take accountability for our own peace and be like, you know what? I see where she's going with this.
Yeah.
I'ma just break.
We'll agree to jump into things, and we'll have a great starting point, right? The only fake part about it is there's no true exit strategy. See, if we discuss an exit strategy on both ends, then we know what we really truly getting into. Most people don't create an exit strategy because then it sounds like this ain't really
Sounds
something
transactional.
real. It sounds
like
too
it's better.
transactional.
Yeah.
And it feels like, and this is weird. Like
You talking about discussing that up
if
front,
if I say right now, shit, so what are we? We're just ordinary people. But what are we? What are we?
Okay, John.
All right, we just doing what we doing, you know, respectfully. I won't do nothing disrespectful in front of you. I ask the same in reciprocation. Okay, cool, boom. Now, if we gonna come together, I just ask you use protection. When you out away from me, I'm gonna use protection. Okay, cool, boom. I'll spend a little money on you. You can play around with me.
What does that sound like?
Wait.
What
We
does
talking-
that sound like?
Sound like an
No.
agreement.
It's an agreement because that's
Sound
what
like
it is.
communication
So
and
how do we get
agreement.
into it?
But in
Because
that-
if you don't, then
Then we just out
then
here
we
like
all over everywhere.
I think
And that's
this
when
person
that's
love
when
me.
the emotions get in when it's not a
No.
plan.
and that shit grow like mold.
I was dating someone for a couple months, and we did have conversations about marriage. Like, we even sat down and we named our kids. I met this man's like family members and everything, right? How you guys are describing your situations, that was kind of the breakdown, right? My therapist said, Jessica, just because you all never labeled it a relationship, it doesn't mean you were not in a relationship. You were in a relationship with this person.
Of course you are.
Exactly. And so when you all are engaging in these non-committal contracts, are the women expressing to you their feelings and where they stand? And are you all reaching a resolve with that?
Okay, so I can say something to that from what I was thinking earlier. I think something that was left out of this whole conversation is the woman's natural or innate feeling that, okay, he's let me in, I can change him to now wanting to be in a relationship with me. That's where I think the disconnect is. Because the men is thinking, I told you what I wanted, and the woman, by and large, women are
Fixers.
listening to what we say, but not actually hearing what they say. Y'all want to hear it how you need it to be to make yourself go forward, or even you need to hear it in a certain way to say, okay, I know he don't want a relationship, but I heard this, so I can get into this situation now, and it could become what I want it to be and get real diabolical. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, the diabolical way. Like this could be.
That's what I'm saying.
Manipulation,
I
and it's
just
not
think
right.
it's okay to have a conversation. I think, Justin, what you're speaking about is, I think you're asking, is that really common that somebody can be that blunt and upfront at the beginning when they meet somebody and they have a conversation about what the situation is or what your therapist is saying, what this relationship is? If you say, look, man, there's no labels, no strings, we just got to have an understanding, and we lay out what that understanding is. Even to what Jock was saying about having an exit strategy out of that situation, I feel like it's rare to get all of that detail up front, but we could provide that detail up front. But I think you just run into the problem sometimes. You know, there might be an emotional attachment that may grow over that time, but you have discussed, look, no feelings, all feelings aside, this is what I want, this is what I'm looking for, this is what my intention is, and I'm standing on it, and I don't want nothing
You
else.
stand on business.
A woman can say, because
Jock in
a
the
couple of my
CT
friends who got married, their now wives said, I don't want to do that no more. If we don't get married in 5 months, I'm gone.
Done.
Yeah.
She renegotiated the contract.
Instantly.
That's
Both
what it
parties
was.
accept.
She was honest. Either he can take that
The
or he
sense
can
of
leave.
urgency change.
Yep.
My hand been up for 5 minutes. Let me express something to you. In relationships, you don't really do that. You don't say this has to be done because at this time, because we know that's supposed to be an organic flow. Love moves everybody differently. It took you a year to propose. It took him 6 months to propose. Took you 10 years to marry. Took him 3 months to marry. Everybody's shit is all over the place. Like you said, it's different.
I think everybody has valid points. I think the only thing missing, or I think that ties it is, I'll say this, where there is not efficient and proper communication, you leave space or breeding ground for manipulation.
Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah.
Every time.